Okay, first thing we're going to do is prime the face with Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Cream. Just as a primer. Even though we're going to do a relatively full coverage and put powder on, we're still going to prime the skin and still going to use Wonder Glow in a second anyway. Just over it because it'll just add a little bit of luminosity even with all the powder that we're going to put on. Isn't that right, Luce? Well done. Okay, so Wonder Glow next, which is this product here, nice and shiny. Perfect for the party season. And that little black dress. I don't know about you, but I've got mine on now. Under this. It looks fabulous. So we're going to use Mud Palette, and I'm going to be using the lightest shade on Lucy and using a damp Beauty Blender sponge. So let's turn your face this way and we'll start on one side. Just bouncing it on the face. Not going to use loads and loads because Lucy's got pretty good skin, but I just want to, I like cream foundations because, I don't know why, I just like them. So this shade is actually the lightest shade in the palette, obviously, and it matches Lucy pretty well. So we don't need to do any extra really going down onto the neck. You just turn your head slightly. If you see here in the video, there's a couple of blemishes that are coming through, so we'll go over those again. But Lucy's got quite yellow skin, and if you can see, it's all even, and then there's a pink ear. So we're going to go over the ear slightly with foundation so it blends in, because you don't want a really flawless face and a bright red ear, because that's what I've got. So going to put concealer, and with Lucy, if you look straight forward for me, Lucy's got what we call stained lids. Because her face is so pale, if you just close your eyes, all the veins and all of that are very close to the surface, so they come forward, so it gives the illusion that Lucy's already got eyeshadow on that's in that kind of browny tone. So we're going to put a little bit of foundation on over those. Just open for me. And because the blood circulation goes all the way under, we're going to take the concealer right the way under and then tap in a second with our fingers. So just turn, cheers babe. And just so right the way up to the lash line. If you just look forward, so you can see the difference. It can look at this moment that the eye has closed in slightly when you go up really close to the lash line, because it can make the eye shrink, but it doesn't matter because we'll put eyeshadow on anyway. And close your eyes for me. I'm just going to put a smattering on the eyelids and then just blend it out with my finger. For me. There we go. Let me just get in right there. There we go. So that's one side. So you can see the difference in how the eye looks smaller, but it looks clean. And that's what we want. Okay, so we're going to set the concealer first and then the rest of the powder. Now sometimes with concealer people use like fluffy brush or something like that, but sometimes if there's lots of darkness under the eye and you get a brush with powder on and you start dusting, it can move the foundation, so you end up with a little bit of the discoloration coming back. So I'm going to use a sponge, and Lucy's going to pull the makeup face. Thank you. And I'm just going to press it right the way up to the lash line. And this just stretches the skin. And then I can use a brush if I want on the rest of the face. I'm using Nars light reflecting powder because it's quite nice. I'm just patting that on. Then I'm going to take a powder puff and some of the loose powder and just set the rest of the face, knocking off any of the excess, and then we'll just pat away. If you look forward for me. So a little bit too much powder on. We'll knock that off with a powder brush now, just ever so slightly. But as the sort of tutorial goes on, you'll see that the skin sort of comes back to life, because this is a really nice powder for bringing back the shine to the face eventually. This is Cabernet Noir, and I think this is Tropical Days. It's got a little bit of shimmer in, which is quite nice. Nothing wrong with a bit of shimmer. That right, Luce? Well done. Just dusting it on the outside perimeter, because Lucy's skin's really nice and pale, so we don't want to suddenly make her look like she's been away for a year and a half abroad. Just to add a little bit of colour back, just a tiny. That's done. Tiny bit of highlighter, bar of gold, chance to be a fine thing. Just going to get it onto the tip, so to speak. Thank you. Keep your dirty mouth and relax. High points, which is the sort of this V area here. So just on the cheekbone, and I'm not a big fan of going any more forward than, say, the center of the eye, because you don't want it here, because you'll look like you're shining, and that's not a good look. So just here, and I know a lot of people like it in the center of the forehead. I think it makes you look really shiny. So you see Lucy's arch of the eyebrow, I think it looks quite nice there. So that's where it's going. Okay, blushes next. Going to use Charlotte Tilbury's blusher, First Love. Yeah, I remember mine. Wasn't that impressed, to be honest. There you go. In case you're watching, probably not. Circular motions, back. Forward and back, up, nice and high, please. Because why not? A little bit going into the temples. And if you think you've gone too much, then take your big fluffy brush and just dust it off. Fabulous. So that's the base, pretty much complete. The only thing I am going to do is take some of the loose powder, and a lot of it, and just shake it off, and just close your eyes for me. And I'm just going to run it back over the eyelid, because the eyelids will crease quite easily. So make sure you've got a load of product on there. Lucy's eyebrows are already done, as you can see, funnily enough. So that will complete your basic of base makeup. So you know what to do.